welcome to my channel. My name is Anya and today's video is going to be both the wrap up for the June Shop My Stash, which is the current draw, and I'm also going to introduce the new stuff that I'm going to be playing with in July. The reason I'm going to do it all in one video today is because I haven't used a lot of makeup in June. It was very warm where I live in June. In Trondheim we had like 3 weeks of really nice weather, temperatures over 20 degrees, and I melted, and I just did not have the energy to put makeup on when it was that hot, so I've barely touched this drawer. Therefore, a lot of the stuff is going to stay. I have a tiny basket of stuff that I'm going to introduce, and I'm going to do that at the end. As always, I'm going to start with the stuff that I finished and decluttered, and I have a little pile to the side here. I finished the Mekka Maximum Brows. This is in the shade Medium. It's a tinted brow gel with fibers in them. It was fine and I liked it. It matches my brow hairs fairly well when I don't do anything to them, but because I tend to prefer to colour my brows in more of a reddish tone, this doesn't suit that because it is a very neutral, sort of cool tone leaning more brown. So I'm happy to finish it, and there's still some product in here, but I can't get it to look nice and transfer properly onto the brows, so I'm calling it done. I have 3 products here that I'm decluttering. I'm getting rid of this Mekka loose powder, the Mineral Sapphire loose setting powder, because it is too dark for me. This goes on like a bronzer on my skin, and I don't like it. I don't use bronzers in loose form. I don't really even like loose powders, so it's not something I'm going to use as a bronzer, therefore I'm going to get rid of it. And then I have 2 highlighters from NYX. These were both from the advent calendar 2 or so years ago, I have no idea. I have Candy Cloud and Pop and Rock. Pop and Rock at the bottom is more of a grey with a blue shift, and they're really nice on the cheeks. I tried them. Candy Cloud has a peach base with a pink shift. They're really nice, but I already have highlighters that are this sort of strong blue shifty one and a peachy neutral base with a really strong pink shift. I don't reach for them all that much. I have them in palettes, which is why I'm going to get rid of these and keep the palette. The palette is actually the Moonchild palette. I don't use these types of highlighters that often. They're fine, they look really nice on the cheek, but I'm not going to reach for them, so I'm going to get rid of them. And those were the only things I finished and decluttered. There wasn't a lot, but I have a fairly decent chunk of products here that ended up going into the project pan. But I put the CoverFX mattifying primer into the project pan. It's summer, it's warm, and I want to see if this one fares well. I've tried it and I liked it, so I do want to eventually pan it since I've had this for a little while. I also put the highlighter from Mekka in. This is the baked highlighter in Illuminating. It ends up being sort of a light golden colour. When swatching it on my hand now, it actually looks really nice, but during the winter this is too dark on me, so I do want to give it some love this summer. I had a little selection here of like glitter shadows that I was going to pick the one that needed to go first into the Shop My Stash, into the project pan, and Smouldering Satin won that draw. You can see there's a little hole in the top there. This is getting fairly dry, so I don't think I have that much left of time to use it. I have taken the stopper out so that I can access the product, but it is getting dry, and I do want to try and use as much of this as I can before it dries up, so that ended up in the project pan. I chose the Wonder 2 Prime and Behold eye primer as my next primer to pan when I finished the Urban Decay, and I've used it. I like it. It has this sort of light purple iridescent blue shifty thing to it, which I'm not a big fan of, but it doesn't show through on ice, so I don't mind using it. And then I have a whole lot of pencils. I ended up popping the BH Cosmetics brow gel into the project because I want to finish it. It's not my shade, I don't love it, I just want it gone as soon as possible, so I just popped it into the project to give myself an easy product. And then I have 4 lip liners here. I have the Maybelline Gigi Hadid Austin lip liner, which ended up in my orange lip liner category because I want to finish it. I don't really like it. It's too thick to be layered under anything. And then I have the Mekka lip liners in, oops, this one doesn't, that's not supposed to be here, 3 and 5. So I have a nude colour, it's a light brown and I like it a lot, and then I have this which is sort of a pinky red. Accidentally put number 5 in here as well, but that's been in the project since the beginning. And those were all of the things that have already exited the drawer, but I have other things as well that are going to go. I did a look using this Super Shock shadow. This is in A Whole New World, and it is a gorgeous purple, and I loved it, but I have used it, so I am going to put that back. I have already resigned myself to the fact that I'm not going to be able to get to all of my makeup this year. which was my original goal. I just have too much and I'm already falling behind, and I'm not going to stress myself out over it because it does not do wonderful things to my health. So I'm going to not stress about trying to catch up, and if I do catch up, that's great, but I'm going to put things in here that I still want to use, because I still want to use stuff and rotate through things, but I also want to pan some stuff. So I have a couple of things coming in this month that are repeats. They've been in here before, but I'm hoping to finish them. I also have a handful of new things. The stuff that I have used are for the most part going out, unless they are a part of my sort of basic products, which are always in here. I also used these two palettes from Tarte Cosmetics. I used the My Paradise, which is full of rose gold tones, and I really liked it. I also used the Hollywood Eye palette, which has more sort of warm toned, neutrally brown colours. Not neutral, they're warm and they're brown. I like them, and these are great palettes for a quick look, but they do only really give me one look. They're not that versatile, but I like them, so I'm gonna hold on to them. I used this Tarte blush. This was in Natural Beauty, and it is a bright pink, and it's a little bit of a deeper pink. So on me this almost looks red, like a light pinky red, and I was contemplating getting rid of this month because it is not a colour that I reached for that much, but I ended up decluttering the Milani shade that I had, because it's been in my project pan for 6 months and I haven't come close to my goal of just hitting pan on that. And out of the two, I prefer the Tarte one because this is less pigmented and easier to blend, and therefore I'm less likely to go overboard with this. And when I'm going to use a colour like this that is this bright, I don't want to risk going overboard because it can look a bit clownish. But if I'm going to wear a bright pink darker blush, it's going to be this, not the Milani one, and I have opted to hold on to it because I have a use for it. It's not very frequent, but I like it and I'm going to hold on to it. I have had this Moonshine Glow Kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills in here a couple of weeks now, and from this one I have used Blue Eyes and I think Blue Moon and Purple Horseshoes. I've used the blue colours in here, but I haven't reached for the other ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back. I'm not currently in the mood for colourful highlights, and these end up being a little bit too icy on my cheeks right now. So I'm going to put this back and bring it out when the weather gets a little bit cooler, when I'm more in the mood for these types of tones. There's not a lot of products leaving, as I said. I have two singles in here for my singles palette. It's this one. This is Colourpop Tutu Mango, and then this is from BH Cosmetics, the Zodiac palette that I've depotted, a light purple. I've used both of them. I used them along with the A Whole New World Super Shock Shadow, and I like the look I got with them, but I am going to put those back since I have a lot of eyeshadows to get through this year, and I am going to introduce a couple of new ones, but those are going to go back. And I honestly think that's it. Everything else is going to stay. I haven't touched a lot of this, but I am going to bring in a couple of new things. I've decided I am going to put this one back as well. This is the Sleek Blush by 3 palette in Lace, and I have been really enjoying this because they're really lovely orangey tones and they suit me a lot. I have used these and I like them a lot, but I have these 3 peachy tones here that I want to use from H&M, and I have been using my stick blush a lot from Mekka, so I am going to put this one back for now. And I think that's everything going back. It's not a lot. This drawer is still very full, but I have a handful of things that I want to add in. One of those is more singles, so I have them in this palette to show you. There are 5 of them here. The top 2 are depotted from the BH Cosmetics Shannexo palette, so it's a light mustard yellow and then there's a shimmery champagne colour. I just want to see how I feel about them. And then I have my other 3 of the Clear No Stained Glass shadows. So I have Foiling, Trefoil, which is the green, and Stencil is that purple tone. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to show off their like shifting abilities, but they're really pretty and I want to play with them, so I'm going to put them into the larger palette. I'm also adding this one in. This is the Fenty Pro Filt'r Foundation in 100. It is a bit pale for me right now, but I'm currently, well, I'm sort of starting the process of filming the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream review. I have fallen a couple of weeks behind on that, and I want to wear this when I film that, so I thought I might as well put it in here. It's been living on my desk ever since I wanted to film that video and was planning on starting it a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't. So I'm going to put this into this drawer because I do want to use this. I'm going to put it to the side at the moment because I need to organise this afterwards because it is a mess. I also want to see how I feel about Urban Decay Chill. Me and Urban Decay setting sprays, we don't get along. I don't like All Nighter, I have decluttered that. And I have Chill, and this is supposed to be like a cooling spray when you spray it on, and it's supposed to hold makeup in place when it's warm. I want to see if it does. I'm adding a lot of foundations. I'm adding back in the Maybelline Fit Me, and this has been in here before in the shade 110. This is the matte and poreless version, because I don't think I have that much left, and I want to see if I can potentially finish this. Not necessarily in July, but this year. So I'm going to put that in here. I am keeping the Rimmel Wake Me Up in here. I tried that and the concealer once, and I don't hate how they look. They're really nice and glowy on the skin, but the colours are not right for me. Even with a tan, these are too pink tone. So I do want to potentially try and mix a little bit of this into it to give it maybe a bit more coverage and also a bit more of a neutral undertone, because the colours of this are wrong, and I'm going to try mixing it with a little bit of a different thing. I might try mixing it with the Fenty, I'm going to try with this, and if I feel like it, I'm going to dig out some other ones that I like as well, just to see if it is a foundation that I'm willing to mix to use. If not, I will probably declutter that next month, because it just does not work for me. It's the wrong tone, and it just doesn't look very nice on my skin. Or the colour makes it not look very nice, because it looks like obvious makeup. Had it been a closer colour to me, I think I would have liked it a lot more, because it gives my skin a really nice glow. It has light coverage and it looks nice, but the colour is just so off. It's the undertone is just so wrong that it doesn't look nice. It looks orange on me, and I don't want that. And then I have two stick foundations. I've been getting more and more into lighter makeup and easier makeup to apply, and stick foundations are something that I find to be easy to apply. These are Makeup Mekka Perfecting Smooth Stick Foundations. I have Porcelain and Neutral Fair, so I am closer in undertone to Neutral Fair, which is the one up top. Porcelain has a yellow undertone, and I tend to mix them when I wear them, so I put this on sort of the high points of the face and this one in like the contours and stuff. Not to actually like visibly contour, because the shade difference isn't big enough for that, but because I want more of the lighter one versus the darker one in terms of how the colours mix on my skin. But my feelings on these are mixed. I don't love how they sit on my skin. They tend to cling to dryness and just not sit very nicely. But I want to give them a go this summer to see if they are something that I can potentially use up and pop into the project pan. I am adding a highlighter as well as a palette. This is Royal Glow from Mekka, and I think it was inspired by Meghan Markle and sort of her glow on her wedding day. I might be wrong on that, but it's a warm gold highlighter and it's really pretty. But as with most golden tone highlighters, it's too dark for me at my palest. So now that I have a tan, I want to see how I feel about it and just get some use. I will hold on to it anyway because I like it, but I want to use it. The palette is Makeup Mekka's How We Do, which was a collaboration with Selena, Karina and Agnes Luisa. I might pronounce their names wrong in English, and I'm sorry, I can't read the writing properly. But it has three tones. This one is gorgeous and I like Honey Beam on me. It looks amazing. It's a light gold and it's actually light enough to be a light gold on me. Ethereal Bliss is a bit darker, a bit more beige, and it is on the border of being too dark. Gold Embrace is too dark for me, so I'm going to look at this either as a bronzer, as a glowy bronzer, or I'm going to look at it as eyeshadow. I'll most likely end up using the two lighter tones, but I like it, so I want to get some use out of it. I'm adding in two additional single shadows. I'm adding in a powder. This is NYX Sweet Chateau eyeshadow in Cookie Cutter. This also came from the advent calendar, and it's a cream colour. It has a bit of like a pinky purpley, it's a cool toned cream colour. I think I'm going to declutter this by the end of the month, but as with most things, I want to give it a shot first. So I'm going to put that in here. I'm adding in another Super Shock. This is Kathleen Lights, which is probably my favourite Super Shock shadow of all time. It's a gorgeous copper. I love it. And I'm in the mood for these kinds of colours now, so that's going to go in here. I'm also adding in a concealer. This has also been in here before. It was in here in, I think, February. It's from Isadora, the Cover Up Longwear Cushion Concealer. I have the shade 50, which is Fair Blonde, and it's one of these ones. And this one is a little bit too dark for me during the winter. It looks like it might be too light for me on my hand, but my face is paler than my body. So I think this is going to be one that I'm going to be able to use now because it is easy to put on and it is also easy to blend out. I learned, and it has not full coverage, but it has enough coverage so that I can use this on days when I want just a little bit on and I want it to be quick and easy. And I want to see if I can't finish it, I want to at least be able to use up a chunk of this. So it's going to go in here. I was originally going to put all of the additional Metal Moments glitter liners in here. So I had 5 of them because I decluttered the one that was in my project because it's gone off, and I was going to put the rest in here to see if they had gone off too, and 4 of them had. So I've chucked those. This one survived, and this is Metal Moments glitter eyeliner in Cristiano's Girl, and it has a pink base, a light pink base, but it has blue, green and yellow and purple glitters in it, and it is gorgeous. I have a glitter topper in here in the shade Magic, and this is fairly similar, but Magic I think is drying out, so I want to give this a go to see if this is something that I can use and will use, or if I'm going to declutter it. And then I have some additional lip products. I'm keeping all of the Makeup Mekka lipsticks in here, and I just forgot to talk about the other glosses, but I'm going to add in 2 of the Makeup Mekka Aqua Shine glosses. I have Yoga Girl and Peaceful. Yoga Girl is like a light beige with gold shimmer, and Peaceful is clear base with a lot of yellow golden shimmer. I like the formulation of these, but I want to use them. And then I have this 2-step process thing from Max Factor. So I think it's called the Lipfinity, but I'm not sure. I have the shade Spice in this liquid lipstick, and you put this on, let this dry, and then put the gloss over top and it won't come off. And it is really long wearing, and I like the colour, but I've had this for many years, and I want to see if this is still good and usable. Excuse you, seagulls. And if it's something that I am actually going to use and finish. And then this is just a clear balm. This is one that I want to finish anyway. I have that much left, and if I decide to let go of the colour version of this, I'm going to hold on to the balm and just pop it into the project at some point. But I want to give them a go. And I just remembered I have this bin, it's not in the drawer, but these are the Makeup Mekka lipsticks, and then I have put all of the glosses here. And I've used all but one. I have not used the NYX Intense Butter Gloss in Toasted Marshmallow, so that's going to stay. But I have used all of the other ones. So I have 2 other Intense Butter Glosses from NYX. I have Berry Strudel, which is a purple, and then I have Sweet Nothing, which is also a purple, but it's lighter and a little bit more pink. I put these 2 on today to see if there was something that I was going to keep or declutter. I leaned towards decluttering until I put them on, but there is something about this purple that it looks really nice on the lips. I don't really like the Makeup Mekka lip glosses that they say are liquid lipsticks because they're not tenacious enough. These stay on, they want to stay on, they're not sticky, and they're full colour, and I like that, so I am actually going to keep them. I'm also going to keep these Lip Tease lip oil, not necessarily to use on the lips, but more so to actually use as a blush, because I liked it as a blush. I loved the Butter Gloss in Glacy Days, and something when my collection shrinks, especially in lip gloss form, is I might look into a colour that is sort of this mid-tone lightish brown in a sort of not cool, not warm, but neutral undertone, and that's slightly sheer with no shimmer. I like this a lot, and I also like the formulation. I think that's it. I'm gonna quickly try and organise this drawer, and then I will show you what it looks like. So it's messy, it's not perfect, but the majority of like the foundations and the primers and the sprays are here. The cream cheek products, the bronzer, you can't see it, but it's over in this corner. Shadows are where they are. These are all of the blushes, bronzers, highlighters, powder foundation fit here. Palettes are where they are. I put the highlighter palette here. And then this bin is, as always, just filled with everything. And I put the glosses and the liquid lipstick up here along with the Makeup Mekka lipstick. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon. Bye!